Disciplinary policy. The hospital disciplinary policy is to ensure fair and effective dealing with disciplinary matters and that as far as possible common standards are observed for dealing with the disciplinary matters of all employees. The procedure covers unsatisfactory conduct at work and unsatisfactory work performance if this is willful or caused by carelessness. This disciplinary code aims to promote efficient and safe performance of work, to maintain good employee relations within the hospital, and to help and encourage staff to achieve and maintain the appropriate standards of conduct that the hospital expects of its entire staff. These policies and procedure are applicable to all employees of the hospital, including those probationers, with the exception of those staff covered by virtue of their terms and conditions of employment. Principles. Minor lapses from accepted standards of behavior will normally be responded to by informal advice and encouragement. Formal disciplinary proceedings will not be started without going into the details of the alleged offense. Employee shall receive written confirmation of any penalty imposed. Matters shall be dealt with quickly and within specified time limits wherever practicable. Employees have the right to appeal to the appellate authority against any disciplinary penalty imposed. The disciplinary process may be implemented at any of the formal stages set out below, depending upon the seriousness of the complaint against the employee or as a cumulative result of previous disciplinary action. Misconduct. Misconduct is a conduct so serious that it effectively breaches the contract of employment and so justifies the employer in effecting a summary dismissal. While such actions may constitute gross misconduct, each case must be considered in the light of its particular circumstances. These may include the nature of the job as well as the details of the offense. The following list of examples of offenses normally regarded as gross misconduct is therefore illustrative and not exhaustive. Types of misconducts. There are 5 types of misconducts. 1. Discrimination. For example, gender, orientations, beliefs, religion, etc. 2. Theft. Money, information, working time, side business, using company property for personal use. 3. Imbalanced relationships. Examples includes romance, friendships, and animosity. 4. Insubordination. Likewise, ignoring requests, exceeding breaks and leaves, not following policies and protocols, and being late on work. 5. Breaking confidentiality. This can be about product, process, finances, and patient information. Penalties. The following penalties may be imposed on an employee, as hereinafter provided, for misconduct committed by him or for any good and sufficient reasons. A. Minor penalties. 1. Warning. 2. Censure. 3. Withholding of increments of pay with or without cumulative effect. 4. Withholding of promotion. 5. Recovery from pay of such other amount as may be due to him of the whole or part of any pecuniary loss caused to the corporation, negligence or breach of orders. 6. Suspension without pay and allowances for a period not exceeding 7 days. B. Major penalties. 1. Reduction to a lower grade or post, or to a lower stage in the time scale. 2. Removal from services which shall not be a disqualification. 3. For future employment. 4. Dismissal. Procedure for imposing minor penalties. A. All incidents that involve the potential of disciplinary action shall be investigated by the concerned HOD or any other designated administrative official. B. If the investigation results in evidence that establishes certainty that the employees engaged in conducts which warrant disciplinary action, the employees concerned shall be informed in writing of the imputations of misconduct or misbehavior against him and given an opportunity to submit his written statement of defense within a specified period not exceeding 7 days. The defense statement, if any, submitted by the employee shall be taken into consideration by the disciplinary authority before passing orders. The record of the proceedings shall include a copy of the statement of imputations of misconduct or misbehavior delivered to the employees. B. Her defense statement, if any, and c. the order of the disciplinary authority together with the reasons therefor. Procedure for imposing major penalties. Whenever the disciplinary authority is of the opinion that there are grounds for inquiring into the truth of any imputation of misconduct or misbehavior against an employee, it may itself inquire into, or appoint a suitable person, hereinafter called the inquiring authority, to inquire into the truth thereof. Where it is proposed to hold an inquiry, the disciplinary authority shall frame definite charges on the basis of the allegations against the employee. The charges, together with a statement of the allegations, on which they are based, a list of documents by which and a list of witnesses by whom the articles of charge are proposed to be sustained, shall be communicated in writing to the employee, who shall be required to submit reply within such time as may be specified by the disciplinary authority, not exceeding 7 days, a written statement whether he or she admits or denies any or all the articles of charges. On receipt of the written statement of the employee, or if no such statement is received within the time specified, an inquiry may be held by the disciplinary authority itself, or by any other public servant appointed as an inquiry authority under rule. Provided that it may not be necessary to hold an inquiry in respect of the charges admitted by the employee in his written statement. The disciplinary authority shall, however, record its findings on each such charge. Where the disciplinary authority itself inquires or appoints an inquiring authority for holding an inquiry, it may, by an order, appoint a suitable person to be known as the presenting officer to present on its behalf the case in support of the articles of charges. The employee may take the assistance of any other co-employee who is not under suspension but shall not engage a legal practitioner for the purposes.